From the front line of truth, where courage meets convictions, this is The Conservative Viewpoint.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Conservative Viewpoint. I'm your host, Charlie, the Country Conservative. I hope you all have a blessed and peaceful Christmas, but it's time to wake up because the world didn't stop turning while we were gone. We're just days away from the new year, and I promise we need we're going to leave the 2025 with a bang, that's for sure. I've been off since Christmas Eve, but my phone has been blowing up because the stories we've been telling you about for months, like the massive Somali fraud scandal in Minnesota, it's no longer just a story. It's a national emergency, and it's getting bigger and uglier by the day. While the mainstream media was busy eating fruitcake, independent reporter Nick Shirley was on the ground in Minneapolis doing the job that journalists refuse to do. If you haven't seen the footage yet, buckle up, because I have the videos tonight. Nick went into these so-called daycares, places like Quality Learning, and yes, they literally spelled learning wrong on the front door. He showed up at the facilities that supposedly like had 100 and some people or kids, and had none, and they raked in $4 million in taxpayer funds. And what did he find? But nothing. No kids, locked doors, and a woman screaming, "Ice, ice," to warn people inside the building as soon as cameras appeared. This isn't just a mistake, or an oversight. This is the industrial scale theft under the watch of Governor Tampon Tim Walz, and none other than Raghead herself. That's for sure. We're going to get into that here shortly. And the latest numbers from the federal prosecutor are staggering. We are just talking about $250 million from the Feeding Our Future. And anymore, U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson just dropped a bombshell. They are investigating 14 different state programs, and they believe of the half of $18 billion sent to these programs since 2018 may have been stolen. Think about that. $9 million of your money, while our national debt sits over $37 trillion. The fraud tourists are flying in from Philadelphia and Ohio. They heard Minnesota was giving away easy money. They're buying Lamborghinis, high-rise condos in Nairobi, and popping $5,000 corked champagne in the Maldives, while you're struggling to pay your grocery bills. And tonight, we're not holding anything back. I've got the videos and the confrontations that Nick did, that the latest from the DOJ, and if they are going to do anything, and we're going to talk about all this, and the Small Business Association is finally pulling the plug on millions in funding to Minnesota. And it doesn't stop just at daycares. It's also healthcare and many more. It's time for the truth. The weekend wrap-up starts right now. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Been a long weekend, that's for sure, guys. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff, especially with this Somali stuff, and that is going to be the majority of the show tonight. I've definitely been blowing up everything, watching everything go. And we started this out, a week or two ago, we started putting this out there about that. And it's just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And it doesn't even stop. And we're going to get into all that here in a little bit. So welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to see you all. Glad to see you. I hope you guys had a nice Christmas. And tonight, tomorrow night is going to be my last two shows of the year. That's for sure. So we're going to get into more stuff tomorrow night, guys. So we'll talk about that later. So we do not have Rumble tonight. For when I went to go make a comment, something came up and said payment wasn't problem with the payment or something. I didn't even know I had to make a payment. So my credit card was in there. I don't know what the hell is going on, but we do not have Rumble tonight. So I don't know what the hell happened with that. That didn't tell me anything all day long when I was off and on this thing. So, well, we'll get taken care of that tomorrow and see what's going on with that. Hi, Cat Attack. Thank you, Cat Attack. But we got Facebook, we got YouTube, we got Twitch, we got X, which Cat Attack is on right now. We got Kick, which I'm going to be kicking that to the curb here shortly too. And we've got Getter and the Getter Gang over here. Let's find out who's starting us off tonight. Up here, we got Radical Right Sean. What's happening, man? Shell. Hi, Shell. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too, Sean. It is, Shell. 2026 is going to be a huge clusterfuck. And I think we're already starting it, Shell, right now. But Conrad, what's happening, man? Guys, welcome to the show. I'm glad to see you guys right here, right now. All right, let's get over here. Let's shoot over here to Wimpkin and the Wimpkin Warriors over here. See what's going on over here. We got Fixer starting us off tonight. What's going on, Fix? Cecil. What's happening, man? John M. Guys, what's happening, everyone? There's Kurt from the Bayou, man. There he is. Mark from the UK. What's going on, Mark? Let's see. Lee. What up, Lee? And Pat. There you are, Pat. I missed you too. I tell you what. Them dudes. What's happening, man? Welcome. And my Texas Tammy's right there. Gregory Allen Carnes Jr. Texas Tammy and our truck driver extraordinaire, Gregory Allen Carnes Jr. Guys, if you are on Wimpkin, check it out. And now he's on Rumble. So check him out, Gregory Allen Carnes Jr. You guys will love it. Check out his podcast, guys. And my Texas Tammy there. I got Rock Justice. We got our own Rock right there. Guys, welcome to the show. A lot going on tonight, guys. We've got to get busy because I'm telling you, a ton of stuff. I have saved some stuff from the time that I was off and was watching some of the articles and the news that were coming in. So I made sure I saved some of the stuff there because a lot of stuff's going on, guys. It's not pretty and it's not being, I don't think it's being held with any kind of top priority of what's going on right now. The assaults, the terrorist attacks, the fraud that's going on, the problems in this country are not getting any better. Yes, prices are coming down and our economy's better, but the terrorists and everything that's going on and the tax and the threats and everything that's going on and everything that's being shown right now, the crime that's in this country, we are being played, people. And we are being played by both parties. And it's not getting any better. It's getting worse. Hi, Jeff. What's going on, Jeff? And it's disgusting me to no end. Hey, McCassell. She's on Rumble, but it's not showing me going live. I'm going to try to go back here, but she made a comment on there. But I don't know, guys. America Pier. America Pier, our Scandinavian buddy, is in the house right there. Haven't seen him for a long time. Welcome. Let me see something here real quick. Now I'm able to do it. I don't know what the hell's going on with Rumble. We'll see what happens. First, the show is off. Tony. Hi, Tony. Tony, welcome to the show, Tony. And we got two in McCassell. We got American Pier here right there. And we got some new faces. I love seeing that. Guys, welcome to the show. But we're going to get busy because we got a lot to go on. I mean, too much going on. Yeah, UK is already here. Civil war is coming. So, guys, I'm tired of being threatened by these Somali pieces of shit. I am fed up to here with all this shit. They are the criminals, and they think they're going to threaten us. The Muslims are threatening us. They've already taken over most of the UK, and we're being threatened from all sides, and nobody's taking it serious in the government. And that is my biggest problem that we've got going on. Too much people going on here, too much bullshit going on. I don't like being threatened, period. End of story. It pisses me off to no end. M dudes, what's happening? M dudes. That's another new one there too. I love it. But guys, this is the stuff that has to happen. We have got to start taking it. Nobody else wants to take this shit seriously. And that is the problem that I have right now. So let's get into some of this stuff. Colin from Scotland, what's happening? Colin. How are you doing, Colin? All right, guys, let's start off. We're going to start off with everybody is starting off with the Somali crime wave going through not just Minnesota, Ohio, every damn place, Michigan, it's all over the place. And what do we got? We got a worthless DOJ that does nothing. Well, she's making it sound like she's doing something, and I'll tell you that here in a second. But let's start off with the FBI. And Director Kash Patel says previous fraud arrest in Minnesota, just the tip of the very large iceberg. Dearborn and Hamtramck, Michigan had already begun being conquered. Exactly, Shell. And this is the problem that I have. Now, we've got Kash Patel in here, and they have came in, and let me show you, see what we got. Some breaking news here that came out. When was this? Today, around noon. The federal agents have descended on suspected Somali fraud sites in Minneapolis. It's not suspected. Nick Shirley did all the work for them, and they're wanting to try to make this out that they've already been on this, but it's all just right now coming out that, oh, now the FBI has descended into Minneapolis. Okay, but Nick Shirley's been on this shit for a couple of weeks now, if not a couple of months on this stuff. And I'm going to show you some of his videos here in a second, because I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos of his. And you're going to be pissed off every time you see this. But what we're getting now is one convicted Somali fraudster faces a loss of citizenship as DHS probes Minnesota. This was today, and this is one. Only one. But now this just came out at 6 o'clock tonight, Eastern time, guys. DOJ announces 98 total arrests in Minnesota fraud case. 85 of them are of Somali descent. I have a problem with all of this, guys, because one has been charged, but 98 arrests. But they don't say if they're being held in jail or anything like that. But these people, just like everyone else, are going in there and they're being released and no bail, and said, you come back for your hearing. They don't give a shit. These people have stolen almost $1 trillion, and they're letting these people out of jail doing nothing. And we have seen no arrest, nothing by Pam Bondi whatsoever. Why the hell, if we're not being played, is Trump keeping her on? Why doesn't he have somebody with some balls to do something and to start arresting people, start holding people accountable? Because we're seeing nothing being done. And this is because of my frustration and pretty much making me not want to do this anymore, because it seems like everything that we do here to bring the light to people are for naught. Nothing at all. And it pisses me off to no end. That's for a fact. The only pathway to resolve these issues is for citizenry to expose it and force the government leadership to do their job. Exactly, Tony. They need deported right away. And that's the problem. They're just here to make better life for themselves. I have to say they're doing a damn good job at it. Well, hell yeah, I wish I could buy a Lamborghini and all this shit like they're doing. But Somali fraud scheme exposes billions siphoned from the U.S., one state set to crack down, and that is supposed to be Missouri. State Treasurer Vivek Malik is imposing new requirements that remittance payments businesses to ensure customers are lawfully in the United States before they can send money to foreign countries. They are sending them to terrorists. And you got that tampon Tim idiot sitting there going on front of camera and calling everyone white supremacists. You're a racist, playing out of the Democrats' playbook because Nick Shirley has investigated all this stuff and has brought it to light. It's a fact, as what he's doing is done. Nick has got to be funded pretty well because that boy runs all over the countries. He's been like 2 or 3 different countries, and he has done some awesome investigating and does get into the deep shit. And we're going to see that here in a little bit. Exactly, Tony. We're all behind Trump, but you got to question what's going on here and why does he keep Bondi for doing nothing? She's not holding anybody accountable. Nobody's being arrested. Nobody's being perp walked. Nothing. No mug shots. Nothing. In a whole year, and she's done nothing. That's funny there. Exactly, Tony. Gone. Failed. And yes, Tim Tampon Waltz need to be arrested. He is behind this, along with Raghead herself. Eon Omar definitely needs to go. All right, we're going to get into this because we're going to get into the videos real quick. Misspelled Learning Center. No children inside. And they're pressing Waltz over Minnesota daycare tied to $4 million. Let's get into Nick Shirley's videos here because this first one's going to be a long one because, and I didn't put it all on. This goes on for like 50 minutes and I had to break it down. So I'm going to give you the first 7 minutes of what he's been doing and what he goes through because of these Somali criminals and how well he puts up a fight. Take a look at this first one.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. So much fraud, it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes. Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia like the Al-Shabaab, and others enriched themselves all at the US taxpayers' expense. And in this video we will break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be shocked.
How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion and maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised and put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion. How I got involved is that where my office is here in Minneapolis, I'm sort of in the heart of all of this fraud, and I would see these childcare centers. I said, well, there aren't any kids there. It's the middle of the day, and all I see are a couple of guys standing out front smoking. And then I'd go by another daycare and I'd see the same thing. I said, well, where do these kids play? And so I started to go online and look, and I said, this place is licensed for 80 children. They had 0 children. Every time I went by there, they never had a single child there. Then I started to see all these transportation companies going around, And it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation, contributing, but they never had a passenger, never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali-owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever cross-checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
So right here we have all this paperwork. And how are you getting all this information about the fraud?
A lot of it is through my own research. And then I have some contacts at the Capitol going back many, many years. And so the data that I'm getting is 100% accurate, coming directly from research done by people at the state Capitol.
All this paperwork right here, what are we looking at?
The areas of fraud that I have numbers for are mostly related to childcare. This is massive fraud that is beyond anyone's imagination, the scope. And so, for example, there's a child care not far from here in Minneapolis that has two child cares listed at the same address. And together, they're licensed supposedly for 120 children. I have never seen a single child there ever, and I've been by that place at least 100 times.
These Somalians, these groups are setting up these daycares, these child care centers, getting money from the government, but there's no kids.
No kids. Never had any of them. They're all fraught with violations, and even though they have these violations, they're still in operation and they're still getting money. And it's millions of dollars for every one of them every year.
And who's getting the money? And where are they getting the money from?
So we have a thing called CCAP. It's a blend of federal and state money. The bottom line is it's taxpayer money, so it's state money and it's federal money. And the problem is the people at the state of Minnesota are the ones writing the checks. This is kind of the maddening thing is you have daycare, so you have adult daycare, and then you have child care, and then you have health care. And a lot of these same names keep coming up on all of these different types of businesses. And then, of course, we have the transportation, and a lot of those same names appear, a lot of the same addresses. There's one building that has 14 Somali healthcare companies at the same address. There's another building in St. Paul that has 22 Somali healthcare businesses at the same address.
And the government knows about this.
The government knows they're writing the checks. Yeah, the Democrats over there just writing the checks. What has happened is that the Somali community is a very closed community. They will not speak to anyone outside the community and talk about what's going on within the community. They vote as a block. And so when you're a politician, you're saying, look, I've got 100,000 people in Minnesota that if I do something for the community, they're going to vote for me. And that's what it's all about, is getting the votes. And then the people here in Minnesota, you hear this term, Minnesota Nice. I'm so sick of that term. The people here are so afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe, and they're afraid of their own shadow. And I don't understand. This is our future generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud, and they just want to bury their heads in the sand and go on and just not worry about it. Tim Walz saying there's organized crime in Minnesota. What did he do about it? Nothing. You got organized crime? What are you doing? This is the Minnesota law which mandates that anyone who knows of fraud and is a state employee must report that fraud. It's Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. Not only that, but Walz is also guilty of misconduct of a public employee. When I look at the world as a whole and I look at fraud, the Twin Cities is ground zero. The fraud is worse here than anywhere else ever in history. Anywhere.
We're going to go confront these people. We're going to go to these daycare centers. We're going to see what's actually happening.
Okay, so we have to be careful because these people are very violent. They're exceptionally violent.
That guy has done his work. And just with what he has said, that all of this is going on, it's more than what we even think. And it goes into medical stuff too. And it's just not this stuff. These people are pathetic. And we've only seen 98 arrests. There's more people than that than on his videos that we're seeing right now. The government's not going to do anything. We, the people, are going to have to do it. This is costing us money. Then you've got these left people that are trying to protect all these idiots. That's the biggest problem we've got around here. These fucking people can't think for themselves, and that is a big problem. Here we go again. On more about the daycares, take a look at this one.
And now where are we going?
Now we're going to Sweet Angel Childcare.
Once again, I try to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open the doors.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which has its license for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million. And there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way. You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids? They got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When?
Where are the kids? Right here.
So this is a citizen journalist named Nick Shirley, and he went to multiple registered Somali-run daycares in Minneapolis that get millions of dollars in government money, and he found them all locked and empty. How in the world is this not a national news story? So first we have Ilhan Omar pushing federal programs through Congress that funneled hundreds of millions of dollars into Somali-run food charities that turned out to be a massive fraud scheme. Money was being sent to freaking Hezbollah, but I guess we're going to ignore all of that. Now we have dozens of Somali-run daycare centers that get millions in taxpayer dollars and they're empty. Anybody with a news van want to follow up on this? ABC? CNN? Anyone? The American people are being defrauded and stolen from in real time in broad daylight, and nobody's allowed to say anything about it because if you criticize a non-white migrant for blatant theft, you're a racist. Wake up. You are being lied to.
Hi, Charles. There it is again, guys. Facts right there. We are being lied to by everyone because they're seeing all the facts. The facts are playing out right in front of us. But do we see anybody being held accountable? No. We get people to go on TV and say, we're doing something, but never see it. Not like they did with Trump and all the fake indictments that they put against him. But man, they had those cameras on Trump when he was being perp walked and his mugshot and everything. Oh, there's no problem with that. But with the biggest scandal, I think now in U.S. history, going on right in front of our faces, you don't see it anywhere. Nowhere. Oh, yeah. And like she said, it's like a blackout with this media because they can't show the truth. Here's the next one. This is another one of Nick Shirley confronting a Somali fraudster himself. Take a look.
Right here we have two child daycare centers. We have the Minnesota Child Care Center, and then we also have Nuna. Between the two, $2.66 million. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Why are you recording?
Yes. We would like to know.
Well, it says we're trying to figure out 102 children. Is that for this facility?
What is the name of the facility?
It's from the state of Minnesota website. It says you have 102 children here in your child care.
Which child care name is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
Where the children are?
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here,
Okay.
and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which department?
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look at this daycare center right here. No children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million. We are just curious, where are the children at? Here's another daycare center inside of this same building.
We don't want you to be videotaping anything.
Where is all the money going for if there's no children at these daycare centers?
Sir,
Yes.
I told you, please leave.
Yes, we have a question though. Where is the children at these daycare centers if there's millions of dollars?
Ask with the local government, yeah.
We have the paper right here. Come here.
Who are you, first of all?
My name's Nick Shirley.
You don't have any permission to record me.
Period.
Can we talk
you
outside?
You don't have permission to record.
She doesn't either have. She doesn't have permission to record me.
No, you cannot stop people on the street and question them.
We can ask.
You don't have any permission.
Where are the children?
I will sue you. You don't have any permission. We have nothing to do with this. You understand?
Then are there
So leave. Please leave.
Are there children here?
Please leave.
Where are the children? $2.6 million for a daycare center. We just want to know where are the children.
Who you work for?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Who do you work for?
I work for myself, Nick Shirley.
Okay, what are you recording?
We're wondering, where are the children? $2.66 million for
You're not talking to
the Minnesota
right
Child Care Center.
You're not talking to the right person.
Are there children that come here? Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
I don't know who you're talking to. Leave.
That's just a simple question. Where are the children at?
And right now on Polymarket, there's only a 4% chance that Tim Waltz is charged by March 31st. It's time to hold our politicians accountable, especially when there's blatant fraud.
Now there's another one for you. And they're exactly right. But this next one is what Marianne's saying over in Wimpkin. These people are being protected by the police in Minnesota, too. Take a look at this one.
Right here, you have a list.
Well, this one is going away from the child care now to health care. Take a look.
Right here, you have a list of all of the healthcare companies. Loads of them right here. We want healthcare.
No, it's okay.
Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here.
No.
Why can't I get healthcare here?
No, wait.
Warning, you are under video surveillance. No trespassing, security armed. This is the strangest place I've ever been to get healthcare. Just a bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here. Another healthcare company right here. There are 3 healthcare companies inside of this building right here in this room of 7C. Now we have another Helping Hands, Home Care LLC, another healthcare company. Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk about getting the best healthcare?
I don't know.
No?
Sorry.
All right. We will not get any healthcare here. David, this is one of the stranger places I've ever been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to, yet nobody will give you a rate. How much money do you think's been funneled through this building?
Every year, I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were accepted into one of the daycare centers and they actually took down our information to give us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
We received a complaint that gentlemen matching your description were in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rates for healthcare. Because there's 14 healthcare companies inside this building, so.
Okay.
Well, that's not what he said. He said there's 14 companies here. And he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers that everyone here is fraudulent.
Okay.
So
he's here with some kind of like propaganda.
So
no, we're just checking.
No, this is a area that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance. Is there any other reason that you guys are here?
Well, we were checking rates.
No, he's not.
We were checking rates. We asked for rates.
No, you're not.
Okay. I'm gonna have, if you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and we can continue this conversation.
All right, let's leave. So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We were checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No one would really speak with us. We did go inside the one daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady. What's the problem, officer?
Well, so again, we've been getting reports from multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance at this address.
You see what I mean? They're protecting these fucking pieces of garbage. And you wonder why I'm so frustrated? This is, oh my God. A couple other influencers went out and helped Nick get security. This is the problem we got going on. And this is where it leads to, oops, my tablet just shut down. This is where it leads to, if you've been on X or Facebook and you see these Somalis threatening us because we're taking down their criminal enterprise that they've started on a taxpayer dollar, and you got that dumb bitch raghead sitting there saying that they are taxpayers. Well, I got a little different story on that one too. Let me put my tablet back up here real quick. Yeah, I get up close and personal right there. What the hell did I do? All right. So let's find out. Whoops. I've been off. I really messed that up somehow. All right. Well, I'll get back to it here in a second. But yes, one of those ones that we saw on there that misspelled learning, and they're supposed to be having kids in there. But Tim Walz pushes back on Minnesota fraud allegations following daycare. Then it never happened. Governor Tim Walz's office is pushing back against fraud allegations after a viral video that I just showed you. Responding to the questions of allegations, independent Nick Shirley, the governor worked for years. Listen to this. This will make you laugh, and it's not funny. The governor worked for years to crack down on fraud and asked state legislators for more authority to take aggressive actions, this spokesperson said. He has strengthened oversight, including launching investigations into the specific facilities, of one of which has already closed. The spokesman added that Walz has hired an outside firm to audit payments to high-risk programs, shut down the Housing Stabilization Service program entirely, announced a new statewide program integrity director, and supported criminal prosecutions. This has all come out just today. Oh, yeah. That he's just now done. But according to this lying spokesperson, he's been doing it for years. So how did this happen? If he's been doing this for years and years, how the hell does it happen? This is all but lies they're pushing through here, because he is probably the head honcho been in charge of all this and has been part of all this. But here it is. But then when Raghead Up Arrows herself come on TV, and I could not find that video again, and she sit there, Somalis are the biggest taxpayers in the world in Minnesota. They're the biggest taxpayers. Really? Well, in a 2025 report from the Center of Immigration Studies, stated that 81% of Somali households in Minnesota uses some form of welfare, be it food stamps, be it Medicaid, whatever. significantly more than native households at 21%. Though it is noted the Somalis also pay millions in taxes and contributed to the economy, with one economist citing that their economic impact at $8 billion. The study detailed higher usage of anti-poverty benefits like SNAP, Medicaid among Somalis compared to native Minnesotans at 27%. 81% of these people are on welfare and buying Lamborghinis and all kind of condos in Nairobi and all that kind of stuff, if you heard my opening monologue. And this bitch wants to sit up there and try to tell us that they are the biggest beneficiaries of taxes. No, they don't. They don't pay a damn dime. So we got Somali scammers may have stolen enough Minnesota Medicaid funds to match Somalia's GDP. Oh, yeah. So we're talking trillions of dollars here, guys. Did I show this one? Yeah, I think I showed this one. And the last one I have for you on here tonight is Nick Shirley's talking to a black man that speaks out against Islam and all this that's going on right there in Minnesota. Take a listen.
I saw you about to throw down here in the middle of the street.
Hey, man, listen. These people hate our country. They hate everything we stand for. We have to oppose them everywhere they go, all right? Black or white. If you're a Christian in this country, these people hate your way of life. They oppose your existence. We can no longer allow this. They come over here with their Ford Fusions. Go back to your country, all right?
Go back to Somalia.
Bye-bye.
Go back.
You think any of this is fear-mongering from the right?
No, it's necessary. You know, it's not fear-mongering. We need to do this because we're looking what's happening across the pond in Europe, in Berlin, and France, all over, and London. Do we want to be like that? No. And black people, guess what? This country that you live in, you benefit from it. You should stand with your Christian brothers. Stand with our white brothers and sisters. This is our country that we've built together. We lose it, we have nothing. We lose this land, there's nothing else. You're not going to go to Africa and survive. You're not going to go to the Middle East and survive. Guess what? America was built by Christians. White people conquered the land. Black people benefited from it. We have to stand up for it. That's important.
And he's exactly right. But you notice that nobody's calling him racist. You're only racist when you're a white person trying to get corruption gone. And this is what we're seeing. We have been invaded to a point of no return. And nobody seems to be doing a damn thing about it. Which Trump is doing a lot of good around here, but not when it comes to this stuff, because you don't have a DOJ that actually fights for corruption and holds people accountable. So it's not going to happen. Nobody's going to stop doing this because they're all coming out now, like Tampon Tim says, because he got caught. That's the only reason he's coming to light right now. And he's trying to save face, and it's not going to work. What else we got? Okay, we got Raghead herself here. Ragtop OMAR, Somaliland stance slammed as Minnesota fraud scandal opens. She's talking about what's going on in Somalia, and she's talking about a place called Somaliland and the corruption that's been exposed around here as worse. That's not worse than Somaliland. Oh, yeah. And she wants to keep talking about this. She has opposed this Somaliland and has charted a different course entirely, relying on international accountability rather than international assistance. That this distinction matters right now. They are using our money to fund Somalia and the terrorists in Somalia. But nobody's doing a damn thing about it. Definitely not Pam Bondi. She's not even holding our own people accountable. We should have seen a mass arrest being going on every one of these places that Nick Shirley went to. There should have been a busload of FBI agents and Border Patrol in there arresting every damn one of these people. But don't forget, Omar and her husband are all behind all this shit too, because Omar's husband, a $30 million firm, scrubs names from a website amid scrutiny over Representative Sudden Wealth and Minnesota welfare fraud ties. So that's not funny at all, is it? Well, let's keep going because we got a lot more to go here. Okay. As far as Somalia goes, this is the stuff that has to get out. And if the government's not going to do it, some of us have to do something about this stuff because it's not happening. Because all this corruption that's going on here and nothing's being held accountable. Nobody's being arrested. But 96 or so were told that they're being arrested. You didn't see them being arrested. You didn't see them going into prison. You didn't see them going into court. Nothing, did you? No, but we're being told that. So we've been told a lot of stuff. And what did I see earlier today? That Comer from the Judiciary Committee and all that stuff said, "Whoa, we're going to hold people accountable." That son of a bitch has been saying that for 5 years now. He said this under the Biden administration, that people are going to be held accountable. We're sending out letters. We're sending out subpoenas. Everybody that you sent a subpoena out to decided they were going to go to and honor that subpoena. They just said out, and you just said, okay. And that's exactly what he's doing now. He's saying that people are going to be held accountable here in Minnesota. What about Ohio? What about all these other states? Every Democrat-run state. Find out where there's a Somalia place or anybody. And the problem is, Vic mentioned something on her show tonight about all this money that's going out. There is zero accountability, and they wonder why the politicians act the way they're acting, because there is no citizenry accountability for them. Nobody holds them accountable as far as we go. We, the people, are supposed to be in charge, right? Do you feel like you're in charge of these people? No, because there's no accountability. Every bit of money that's been sent out to Ukraine or all these other countries, where's the audit trail? Nobody audits the money that you give the other places, the other states, the other countries. All this money that goes to Ukraine, has anybody audited this money? No. Anybody audited the money that these Democrats spent the last 4 years under Joe Biden? No. There is no accountability for our money, our taxpayer money. It's not their money. It's our money. But there's nobody that holds any accountability as far as money goes. Nobody audits anything. There's no audit. There's no paperwork trails. And you wonder why we're in the situation that we're in. Hi, Kat, over there and get her. I see you over there. But this is what's going on. And this is why they're getting away with it. This is why you see so many lawsuits up against the Trump administration, because he's finally trying to hold the Democrats responsible for their awful spending that they've done for years and years. And now they're being caught, but nothing's being done about it. We're being told that stuff's being done, but nobody's being held accountable. That is the biggest problem that we have. Now, the problem that we have under the Democrat problem and the bloodbath border crisis that they caused, we have somebody like this. We've got a primary sabotage. There's a primary elections that's coming up, guys. A niqab wearing Muslim woman who has voted Democrat since at least 2008 is the only Republican running for North Carolina Senate. You heard me right. You can't make this stuff up. A woman has been voting Democrat since 2008, is running as the Republican, only Republican in North Carolina Senate. Guys, see a problem with this yet? This bitch is wearing this a full face gear. Oh, yeah. You can't see her face, but she's running as a Republican, but votes as a Democrat. And it's probably a Democrat. She's been a lifelong Democrat on that point. Yeah. But she's the only Republican running as for Senate in North Carolina. What's wrong with these people? We are being invaded, and everybody is letting them do this. We also got another indicted Democrat, and it's a $109,000 ring allegedly bought with stolen FEMA money. Oh, yeah. I did not get to download that video, but her ring was on there, and then she edited the picture out to make the ring disappear. Oh, yeah. Another indicted Democrat, but nothing's happening to that. All right, on with this one. A Minnesota senator, a Senate candidate, a Democrat, wears a hijab, the monkey junk, to visit Somalia market as fraud scandal unfolds. This is a Democrat wearing one of those headpieces, and she's a Catholic. You can't make this stuff up, guys. I'm telling you what. This is what's going on. We're getting threatened. We're getting our money taken away from us, but we're going to have to continue to pay higher taxes because of all this shit, and not one damn person arrested. Why are they not taking their Lamborghinis or collected all their condos that they've bought and stuff? Why haven't any of this stuff happened? This is not just something that happened yesterday. Nick Shirley's been on this for months, and nothing's being happened. And the only reason it's coming to light because he let these videos release. That's the only reason you're seeing anything. But you check the fake news media and seeing what they're showing you. Not a damn thing. Except that they're going to try to spin this to be, what? We're racist. We're all that garbage. Oh, yeah. That's the only reason we're doing it is because they're Somalians. Oh, yeah, that's right. They're a different color skin. That's why we're doing this. Local governments aren't held accountable for not being able to balance a budget. Exactly, Tony. Pittsburgh just raised property taxes because they... Oh, yeah, and did you see now that we've got all Democrat-run cities are not following a law about the no tax on tips and overtime? And Pennsylvania is number one. Chicago, New York, California, all these places are still making those people pay the taxes to the state on their tax. Oh, yeah. They are not following the law. They're doing what they want, and nothing's being said about it. Oh, yeah. Pennsylvania is added to that list, too, because the piece of shit governor here is not following the law that is signed into law by Trump, that no tax on tips or overtime until 2028. And it's supposed to go all the way back to the beginning of this year. Oh, yeah, but they're not following that either. I just had to throw that in there real quick because I just remembered that. Got a lot of shit to go over tomorrow too, guys. This has been crazy. Everything's getting crazy. I had some great viewers come in there and sitting there telling me, get back in there because shit's going to hit the fan. Well, that shit's hit the fan, and it's not hit. It's hitting hard. FBI foils another New Year's Eve terror plot by pro-Palestinian group in California. Oh, yeah. We got more illegal criminals happening right now. Remember, guys, how many terrorists we have in this country that they know of? At least 18,000 terrorists that they know of are in this country. They're not even talking about the terrorist cells that are popping up all over the place, guys. We're going to continue with the terrorists. On ICE arrest, so far, that 70% of these arrests that they've made have criminal ties. On top of more terrorists and criminals that have come into this country under the Biden administration and these dumbass Democrats. Yes, exactly, Tony. He is a worthless fuck, and I can't stand it. That's just like all the Democrats and so-called Republicans in Pennsylvania House, just like Cameron Bottolata. Oh my God. I just saw today where she's using her Senate Facebook page for campaign purposes. That is breaking the Hatch Act. She got to be put out there. Somebody in that government needs to start putting charges against these people because they're all getting away with it. She is, in fact, a Democrat. She is married to a Democrat that was put away for fraud. And he was doing the same damn thing. And now she's doing the same damn thing. She's using government money and government ties for her campaign purposes, which is illegal. We're going to have more of that hopefully coming up next week. We'll see how I feel about coming back on. DC doesn't want the war in Ukraine. Otherwise, they'll lose their bonuses. John M., you are so right. That's why I'm not covering any of this about Ukraine and Russia war. That idiot over there in Ukraine doesn't want it to end because he's going to lose his power once they have a regular vote. It's all about money and the Benjamins. It's not going to end. I'm not going to cover it. But thank you for that, John. You're exactly right. I was thinking that same thing today. Why the hell does that dude have to come to our country? Stay over there and take care of your worthless Ukraine. Stay the hell out of the United States. But anyways, back to our illegal criminals. And this is even worse, guys. And of course, this goes back to California. And migrants, illegal criminals in this country are now suing California because the DMV plans to revoke all their commercial driver's license, illegal driver's license at that. But now they think they have the right to even sue any part of this government when they know it's illegal. They're giving them something, and now they're taking it back from them. Now they're going to sue California because they're taking their illegal license away from them. How the hell do they even think they have the right to sue anybody? Them son of a bitches aren't even supposed to be in this country. Sorry if I hurt your feelings, but the truth is in your face every day. Oh, and no one more than Dayton, Ohio. Exactly. I am so sick of every time we turn around and we show this. What is your schedule for this holiday week? Today and tomorrow, Conrad. Tomorrow will be my last show for the year. I will probably be back on the 5th. I have so much going on. I got to take my wife for a little surgical procedure and stuff. And that's tomorrow. I'd go for the pre-op surgery with her. And it's a couple hours away. So I got a lot going on. So I am taking the rest of the week after tomorrow. New Year, celebrating with my friends and family at my house. Got a lot of stuff to do there. So, yes. And then I'm hoping to have a new little renovation of my studio if I can. I did get my internet working on my own. I pay money for this shit to keep it working, and it's not working. So I had to do it on my own. So there's a lot of stuff going on, guys. So bear with me to see what's going on because a lot of this stuff is pissing me off that I see on here, and other people's podcasts are going on and pissing me off. And so I've got to get some shit straight. So we are definitely going to keep an eye out for what's going on here, guys. So, all right, what do we got here? Ex-War Department official warns terrorists may one day aerolize fentanyl. Guys, this is serious shit here. If they aerolize fentanyl, it is a chemical agent and a chemical warfare that's going to happen in this country. Guys, there's a lot going on. I'm telling you what, and it's a fact. And I put the facts out to you guys, and you can look up anything that I tell you guys, and it's all factual. It's not fictional. It's not conspiracy theories. Nothing. It's all facts. You can look it up yourself. But I just try to get it out there so you guys hear this, because now we've got accidentally this stuff. They aerolize fentanyl, and they can put this in a plane, fly over your head, just like the jet wash we see or the chemtrails, and they can put this stuff in there and kill you right away. This is stuff that we've got to watch, guys, and the War Department is putting this out and warning people, so you know it's already been found. Now, with corrupt judges and the illegal criminals, as far as Garcia case, the judges put Garcia's case on hold, has canceled it, because now he's trying to say it's a vindictive prosecution. This son of a bitch is a human trafficker. He's in the country illegally. He already had arrest warrants for him. A deportation order's out. The son of a bitch shouldn't be in this country, but these activist judges are still fighting for these illegal criminals. Why? Because that's the only way the Democrats are going to win an election. They keep these son of a bitches in this country. We also have an ultra-high level Democrat influencer, and I've never heard of, I think I heard of this guy because I have him blocked on X for some reason, but he is calling for violence against what they call Trump, dead man walking Trump. This piece of shit, Brian Krasenstein, one of two brothers who rose to viral fame and responses to Trump's tweets, is under fire after, why isn't he being arrested? He's calling for death to Trump by any means possible. He said by Trump needed to go by means one could reasonably speculate on. Trump is a dead man walking, Krasenstein wrote on Christmas Eve. Why is he not in jail? Listen to this tweet. Trump is a dead man walking. America should put him to sleep now. It is what it is the humanitarian thing to do. Why is this piece of shit still walking the streets when he says shit like that? That's a threat to the president of our United States. Why is he not being arrested? Because our DOJ sucks. World War III. You got that right, America Peer. See if we get these out. Go on, go. Sorry, I've had so much today. But here's another thing that nothing ever happens, but they want to put it out to us. The Epstein tipster. Guess who that was? No, none other than Brian Kissenstein, whatever the hell his name is, claiming Trump was a rapist. Also claimed a man fired by Hillary Clinton tried to frame him for the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing. Oh, yeah. None other than Brian Krasenstein himself. This son of a bitch needs arrested immediately. Couple more here. After missing deadline, DOJ says it may need a few more weeks to finish releasing Epstein files. They so-called all of a sudden happen to find 1 million more pages of evidence of the Epstein files. Oh, yeah. Just so happens it come up. Oh, yeah. Congressman behind Epstein files files law draft of articles of impeachment against Bondi. You know what? I hate this guy. I mean, I can't say I hate him because I don't like him. I don't like this guy. But Representative Democrat Ro Khan warned other Justice Department officials they could also face legal consequences if they played a role with withholding Epstein records. So he's filed impeachment against him, of course, along with Rhino what's his name? Massey? Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, he did the same thing, which I don't have a problem with this because Bondi's not doing her job. Something needs to be done. We need somebody in there that actually do something. We got to get something done as soon as we can. But not only that, we keep hearing all this stuff. We got her. We got her. Guess this one. They got her. FBI caught Hillary Clinton taking donations with foreign felon on tape. Why isn't she being arrested? They so-called got her. That's what where did this come from? The Western Journal. They got her. No, they didn't. We've heard this under the Russia hoax, the dossier that they know she paid $1 million for, knowing it was fake. Nothing ever happens to these people. This is another example of nothing going to happen to these people. You wonder why I'm so pissed off? You shouldn't wonder anymore, should you? Here we got Wefling millionaires are leaving the Democrats. They are tired of bailing out the parties, and the party they're talking about is Kamala Harris herself. While the Democrats are sitting on $16 or $12 million cash on hand, they're asking millionaires to flip the bill for the $16 million that are outstanding that they spent trying to get that worthless lying fuck Kamala Harris as fake president. So they're pulling out. Democrats are crashing and burning, and they will use any excuses to try to stay in power, no matter what, to keep their money laundering operations going. Now Kamala Harris is crying sexism and proves why she is not fit to be a leader. And she says she don't inspire to be humble. She's a fucking idiot. That's what she inspires to be. The last thing I got, guys, was Stephen Miller goes scorched earth after 60 Minutes staff caught working to protect child killers and rapists. And I'm sorry I'm running over tonight, guys, but all this stuff was so important. So I'm hoping you guys aren't too upset with me for running a little bit over, guys. But I know a lot of you guys got to work and stuff. But come back tomorrow night, guys, because it's going to be a whirlwind of shit going on here because of the stuff that's going on. And it's never going to end unless somebody does something about it, because it doesn't seem to be going on now and nobody's doing anything about it. So we're going to keep watching this. And guys, it's going to get interesting. I'm telling you what. Let me scroll down through here, but I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, guys. And I'm going to leave you with this so you guys can go. So, folks, let's be crystal clear about what we talked about tonight. When Nick Shirley is capturing all on the streets of Minnesota, and this is not just any scandal, it's a systematic betrayal of the American taxpayer. While you were working 40, 50, 60 hours a week to put food on your table, these fraud rings were laughing at us. They're using your sweat and your sacrifice to buy Lamborghinis, luxury villas in the Maldives. They saw a broken system, and instead of helping the children they claim to serve, they treated our treasury like their personal ATM. But here's some good news. The light is still winning because of the independent voices, because of shows like Nick Shirley's, and because of you guys in chat. The truth can no longer be buried. We are seeing the walls closing in. These indictments are coming, hopefully. The Small Business Association are cutting off the cash and the fraud tourists and finding out that the party is over. So I want to give a massive thank you to every one of you who tuned in tonight. The chat was absolutely on fire tonight. I see all of you in there, and your energy is what keeps this show moving. Thank you for your participation, for sharing this stream, and for refusing to be silent while our $37 million debt is fueled by this kind of rot. We are almost to the finish line, guys, of 2025, but we aren't done yet. We have one more show before we leave, before the New Year's break. So you don't want to miss our final broadcast of the year. We're going to wrap up the biggest stories of 2025, set the stage for the accountability that's coming in 2026, or hopefully coming. I got a lot of videos for you guys, so make sure you tune in. So keep your head up, keep your eyes open, and never apologize for loving this country. God bless. I'll see you back here live tomorrow night for our final show of the year. It's going to be a blowout, so make sure you're here right after the Rebel Chick with the Cause. It starts at 7 p.m., guys. And like always, guys, have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you back here live tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming.